Hello everyone, welcome back. This time I'll be sharing a tutorial along with tips on drawing eyes, especially for those of you who want to create comics. Eyes are one of the most important elements in drawing characters because they can strongly convey emotions and personality. This is my comic. Take a look at the details of the eyeballs I've drawn. Each character has unique eyeballs with varying details and colors, and I apply this to every panel. How do I manage to maintain consistent details across so many panels? I'll explain that at the end of the video. But for now, let's focus on learning how to draw them first. I might not explain how to draw eyes anatomically. Here, I'll focus on how I color the iris of my character's eyes. Of course, at the initial stage, I draw the eyes first. I usually draw my character's eyes in a trapezium-like shape because I find that a simple representation of the eye looks like that. You can look up some eye references to study if you want to learn more about drawing eye shapes. After sketching the basic shape, I add small details like eyelashes and eyelids. Then, I add eyebrows and apply a base color. After that, we'll focus on how I draw the iris. I start with a basic dark circle shape. Next, I decide on the color palette I want to use. In this case, I'm going with blue and pink. I pick the colors first and place them on the canvas like this. Then, I create a new layer and clip it to the black iris layer. This new layer is where I'll create the gradient of blue and pink. The result will look like this. After that, I'll make the iris appear blurrier to blend seamlessly with the sclera of the eye. Use the blur tool to soften the edges of the iris like this. Then, use the color picker to select a darker shade for the pupil. Create the pupil as a circular shape, keeping its size proportional to the iris. Next, I pick the blue color again to add some variation to the pupil using the airbrush tool, making it look like this. Finally, I add small details to the edges of the iris with a darker shade, enhancing the overall depth and appearance like this. Next, I'll add more variation to the eye. Create a new layer with the screen blending mode and use the airbrush tool with the pink color from the canvas. Apply it to the lower part of the iris. I also add tiny specks to give it a galaxy-like effect. Then, use an eraser with low opacity to soften areas that appear too bright. After that, create another new layer with the Add Glow blending mode. Add random shaped particles like this, following the area beneath the pupil. You can use a symmetry tool to make this easier. Since it still feels incomplete, I add small blue particles for extra detail. Finally, once I'm satisfied with how the iris looks, I merge all the layers together. Here, I add more details to the eye's coloring, adjusting the color palette to match how it will appear in the webtoon later. By adding a bit of shading and lighting, the final result of the eye will look like this. I use a color palette for the skin that I will also apply to my webtoon later. For the reddish airbrush effect around the eyes, I enjoy adding it. It's something I consider my signature style. I also change the line art color to a reddish tone. Once I feel that the added details are complete and I'm satisfied with the result, I'll use this for my webtoon later. To do that, I duplicate the iris and change its color so I don't have to start from scratch. I use the hue saturation and color balance tools to adjust the iris color. I tried creating 2 other versions of the eye color from the original blue. Once I'm done, I can create a brush from the iris I've made to speed up the Webtoon creation process. Here's how. Select the iris layer you've created. Go to Edit and select Register Material. Check Register Material as Brush Tip Shape and save it in one of the folders listed on the right side. Now, create a new brush using the image you just saved as the brush tip. Duplicate an existing brush and edit it by clicking the lock icon. Change the brush tip to the new material you created, and that's it. Now you can create an iris with just one click. We can use this tool to speed up the Webtoon creation process. I no longer need to draw the eyes with detailed steps repeatedly. With just one click, the eye for my Webtoon character is done and colored. How easy is that? By the way, I'm also posting this tool for you to use in Clip Studio, though I'm charging 50 Clippies for it. Think of it as a reward for my effort. You can download it by the name listed or search using the username OKIDS. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. What are you guys thinking about some Webtoon tips I should make next?